Hey guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. It almost looks not complete. I hit all the wires and all the caps and all the stuff you guys normally see hanging out, running all over the place. I just, because I could, you know, like coming in and out over here by the relay. Everything's hidden. The remote jack, everything's hidden. It's just the tip that's hot. And what I mean by that is the remote jack over here. The tip's hot, and then you connect the return line back to the tip and the amp turns on. Standard remote plug hookup. It just looks naked in there. It's not though. I guarantee you this thing is fully functional. So let's start out over here. Let's zoom in over here for a minute. Let's take a look at the spectra. That's the radio. There's the amp. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Turn the amp back off. Let's go back over here to our watt meters. 1000 watt slug in peak, 1000 in average. 5 watt slug here in reverse back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. So let's go ahead and we'll send that forward for a moment. And we're going to put 1 watt worth of dead key in it. Right at a watt, okay? Now, we're going to start out our test a little bit low. We're on 12 volts. Let's back this out enough so you can see where we're at. 12 volts DC. 1 watt going in. Hello, audio. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. And that's with this much drive. We're making 325, 350 watts with 1, 2, about 10 watts worth of input power. To me, that's decent. Here's the fun bit. Let's go up here and let's take a look at the 5-watt slug in reverse. So on one side we got the 2950, on the other side we've got the straight 4-pill. Hello, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can't ask for better than that. You can't. So it's on 12 volts, of course. 1 1, hello, come in. All right. That's with the 2950 hitting it on 12 volts. Let's go ahead and we'll jump over to the striker now. And we're going to pretend that you're sitting in your mobile and you're running your mobile with it off. Because when you're running a 4-pill, you can still get away with that. You're not going to kill everything in your car. So now what we're doing here is, once again, let's flip this meter around. We're going to key 1 watt. 1 watt going in. Gets us about 10.5 watts out. Audio. 450 watts, but you're like, that's not so impressive to me, BBI. That's right, because your car's off. Audio 1 2. We're barely hitting it with 50 watts. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Now let's go up here. Let's go look at the input of the striker. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. And we'll go up here to the 955. Hello, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Hello, 1 1 1. Hello, 1 1 1. Significantly less dead key in reverse. I mean, reflect coming back, not dead key. Reflect coming back. Hello, 1 1 1. Okay. That's with the amp off. By the way, that's pass-through tune. Dumbass me. Hello, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Hello, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Hello. So 2 little middly piddly bars with the amp on. Hello, 1 1. Okay. Those are real world tests. So that's what would happen if you're sitting there running it on a 12 volt car battery. So now let's turn on our power supply. And we'll eke this on up to 14 volts. We're putting 14.1 worth of volts out of our power supply into our supercapacitor bank. So now, let's start over again. 5 watt slug going forward once again. Right at 1 watt. Hello, audio. So now we're seeing about 80 watts out of it. So now we're going to pretend that your car's on and it's sitting there idling at 14.1 volts. Now with the striker hitting it, as we've seen over here, hello, 1 1. Get about 80 watts worth of drive. Hello, audio 1 2. Hello, 1 2. Seeing about 700 watts worth of power, right? That's perfect. That's the way it wants to be driven. Now, let's say that the charging system in your truck charges at 14.5 volts. Okay, or your car, 14.5. Hello. We're cruising around the 800 watt range. Cool, right? I think that's cool. Me personally, I think that's cool. That's what we want. Perfectly clean, spectrally pure, good all on frequency RF power with no crazy numbers going out. Okay? Stable, smooth. So let's change radios again. So now we're on the Striker 490. A little bit more drive. Hello, 1, 2. About 130 watts. Let's go ahead and key it. A little bit shallow. That's about 1 watt. So we're gonna put 1 watt in it. Hello, audio. We're swinging about 450 or 150 watts worth of drive. Around 150 watts of drive equals hello, 1 kilowatt. Under realistic, real-world voltages. Hello, 1, 2. Hello, 1, 2. Hello. And that's making a true 1,000 watts peak. Hello. Can't even lie about it if I wanted to. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So now, let's go ahead and we'll crank this up to about 15.5. Where about everybody likes to test that on their workbench. I don't know why. That's where everybody does. So at 15.5 volts, we'll turn the amp off. Hello, audio. You see that? Hello, audio. That whole volt extra worth of shmoo we're putting into everything allows us to get about 15-20 more watts worth of drive. Hello. That's on the stop peg. We're making 1200 peak, no problems. Hello. Easy, easy, easy. 1200 peak. Go ahead and we'll jump this up. So now we flipped it up into the 2x range, which means this big hash mark here, right here, between the 40 and the 60, that's 1,000. The 30 and the 60, that's another additional 200 watts, so that's 1,200, 14, 16, 18, and 2,000. Okay? Okay. Same amount of drive, nothing's changed. Hello. Hello. On that scale, we're shallowing up a little bit. Making about 1190, 1180 on that scale. That's pretty good for a Striker 490 running into a 4-pill. So now let's say you've got yourself a hot D-rail radio. This is your amp. You've got yourself the HP whatever it is. Don't give a shit. Put whatever name you want in front of it. It does about 150 to 200 watts worth of shmoo. This is your amp that you're looking for. I get this all the time. I've got my high power blah 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 blah. Well, what do I need? 4-pill. Yeah, but can I get more out of a 6? Not really, but yeah. So we've been running this whole time. We're gonna wait for our FLIR to boot. FLIR's debooted. And click. I'll make sure to insert that in the video here. And what I'm showing you when I show you the FLIR test is that we've been talking on this for several minutes. And if there was any imbalance in this amplifier, like it wasn't working completely perfectly, it would show up in this resistor. This resistor would have been screaming hot. There's none. Now, don't be thrown by this combiner. It looks a little different, but it's the exact same thing you guys always see. I'm just using a different size ferrite bead, and I'm doing this to prove a point. That you can have that bigger ferrite bead, and it doesn't actually necessarily mean more power. And the other thing is you don't have to orientate the thing with the combiner sitting straight up and down. You can turn it on its side. It's just how you go about orientating the wires that makes the big difference. There's no imbalance here. It's got every hot rodded part in it that we've been able to cook up as adult human beings. I mean, the only difference is that it doesn't have Toshibas in it. But it's got all the good parts. It's got all the good input transformers, the custom BBI output transformers. It's got the custom wire in it. This is just a clean, straight 4-pill. This is designed to do AM. And no, please don't call me and say, I want you to add sideband to it. I don't want to do it. I'm looking for the guy This got himself a striker, and all he does is talk on AM on it all day long. Really, I'm looking for the guy that's got somewhere between the 250 watt radio and, you know, the 100 watt radio. 80, 90 watt radio, it's going to get you 800 watts. 100 watt radio is going to get you 900 watts. 150 watt radio is going to get you almost 1,000. You give me 180 watt to 200 watt radio, it's over 1,000, 1,200 watt peak rate amplifier all day long. Run like this forever. Master Builder Class 15, 4-pill HG. Legit, straight up, this is what it is. We're not expecting it to do anything more. It's got all the big boy parts. The big boy relay in it. Nothing half-assed. Everything done perfectly. Let's put the tin on it. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm going to bring this around full circle. Let's go ahead and shut this down. Now that I got air on this, I don't feel so uncomfortable about driving it so hard. Let's pick our drive level up to another level. Let's go up one more stage. 2950 going into the bench 2-pill. We've got the 4-pill shut off. I got the mic gain way down on the 2950. About 220 watts worth of drive. We're not going to see the same response out of this whole setup like what we did when we're down lower with drive. You start reaching this point where you get diminishing returns, right? So you're going to get low amount of input, you're going to low amount of input power and this huge amount of power increase, and then you're going to get up towards the top of what the thing can do, and you're going to start to plateau off, and you're going to have to give it more and more drive to get more gain. It's a non-linear curve. Okay. Not this, it's more like, you know what I mean? Okay. So, at 220, 230 watts of drive. Now, we know we're going to peg this in the corner. It is what it is. At yay, shocker. Let's go up to 2x. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's zoom back in here for a second. Now, remember how to read this thing in 2x, right? The 50 mark between the 40 and the 60. 1,000 watts, 60 is 12. Next major hash mark between the 60 and the 80 is 1,400. At 1380 and some change, pretty easily. At 1, 2. At 1, 2. At 1, 2. At 1, 2. 1, 1, 2, 2. At audio. I didn't even pay attention to what the RMS numbers are reading. Just focused on that peak meter for some reason. It's sucking me in, man. At 1, 2. 1, 2. Big peak numbers, a little modulation to keep the drive down, right? So we'll call it a day. How many amps is this thing pulling? At 1, 2. Oh man. Right at around 100 watts is what this thing's going to do. It works. This is always my favorite style cabinet. Always. And it will be till the end of days. My buddies over at ICA sent me a whole bunch of these. I got like 10 cabinets, 2x4 cabinets sitting over here right now. I got a whole lot of stuff I got to build in this next couple weeks. Got all the brake boxes coming up too that are going to be out there floating around in the universe. So hold on, buttercups. We're going to go for a ride. I'm telling you. Look, this one's going up for sale. It's been a long time. I've had so many people call me in just the last month alone since I offered up amp number 14. I've had a ton of people reach out to me and say, hey, you got a 4-pill? And my answer, unfortunately, is always no. Except for today. I'm going to ask $850 plus the ride for this. That's the end of the conversation. You guys know what to do next. Call the number. Shoot me a text. The first one that gets to me with cash in hand gets it. That's it. My friends, I appreciate you all tuning in to follow along. I found the coolest thing today. It's been here for months. I didn't even realize it. Found the coolest thing that somebody sent in to me as a thank you. And I cannot wait to bring it out and show it off to all you guys. So that'll probably come out tomorrow. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff I got to get done. So just hold on. There's lots and lots and lots more videos coming. Believe me when I say there's more amp porn to be coming. Come on. On that note, I say thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. And on to the next major thing. We'll see you. Bye.